Mike Bohn joined now by the new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jamahal Hill. Jamal, it's been about 3 days, man. Does that still sound surreal for you being called the champ, or does it feel just right?
Feels right. Feels right.
Man, obviously going back to, the emotion of the night and everything. I mean, can you even just describe what that moment was like? You mentioned for so long you wanted to know the answer to that question you've been asking yourself for so long, to get the answer. What does it feel like? Does it feel like you thought it would?
Yeah, it's just validation. I just feel like everything that I said was true. What have I said that that I haven't done? Everything I said I was gonna do, I did.
Man, the fight was an incredible one. Obviously, fight of the night and everything. To go in there and spend 5 rounds with Glover. I mean, was obviously prepare for the worst for a war like that. But in your mind's eye, did you feel like that's the way the fight was going to play out, or do you think it would be something different?
I expected to dominate. That's what I expect every time out. I expect dominance. And that's however the fight comes, whether it be with a dominant finish or just a dominant performance.
How do you feel physically right now? Obviously, they didn't bring you guys to the press conference. They transported both of you to the hospital, so we didn't hear from anything from the night of the fight. How do you feel right now, a few days later?
I'm sore. I'm sore. I'm still wearing. I'm wearing it. It was a tough fight. It was a hell of an opponent, legendary Hall of Famer. You know, um, the dude's toughness is understated. He's not just tough. He's tough. He was tough, and he was still actively doing the right things to still to try to win the fight. He was still fighting. He was still throwing. He was still looking to try to get a dominant position and things like just the entire time. He never once wore like the pain of the fight. He
Yeah,
never like, oh shit, or like fuck, like pause, like fuck that hurt. Nothing, because if he did, I would have finished him. But he just never let me open the door. Never opened the door to that.
Yeah, I mean, seemed like it was pretty close a couple times, especially in that third round. You had him hurt really, really bad. But you're saying like you didn't see that quit in him at all, like that moment where your killer instinct can take over, and you'd be like, I have this guy on the hook. I just need to put him away.
Well, I know I had him on the hook. I just couldn't put him away. You know, he like even in that third round when I had him on his back and I'm hitting him with these shots, he was kept trying to pull me in or wrestle up, like attack a leg and wrestle up. So it was just that nonstop. He was always either rolling, looking, slipping, try to counter and things like that. Like who does that while enduring the type of beating that you're enduring? It's insane.
And I think watching the fight, like you knew in that first round, we know Glover can start slow sometimes, but like you were stopping the takedowns, you were able to, start finding some hard shots. Did you know in that first round, like I kind of got him, this is going really well for me, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing? Or what was the thought after that first round where it seemed like, all the momentum was already yours?
Yeah, just keep doing what you was keep working what you working. We seen everything that he was gonna do. Is all things that I practiced for. So the fight kind of went exactly kind of how training camp went.
Man, those head kicks too were really on point. Was that something in the game planning that you thought was going to be an opening, that you thought was going to be like really effective in the fight, or was that something you saw in the moment that you went to and you saw how successful it was, so kept going to it?
Now, I've been working it. I figured that would be something that would be there, just because of how he rolls and kind of slips and things like that. Um, but it was also on the fly, just an adjustment off of something I seen, and then whenever it started to be effective, I had to set up ways to set it up, with footwork and movement and things like that.
And I know you said off camera before we started here, haven't really slept yet. I know you just got home like late last night. Have you had a chance to actually watch the fight yet, or no?
Um, Not really. I think we were on the whenever we got back to the States, we were at the airport, so we had like the my coach kind of pulled it up on the phone, so we were like kind of like eating, having some drinks or whatever. And it was playing, so I kind of only seen it like from a phone view, but I haven't like actually watched it.
Okay, so I will ask you, like, after the fourth round, there was a lot of talk with, the commentators, and even one of Glover's coaches, John Hackelman, was like, "Hey, should we maybe stop this?" To the other cornermen, they kind of overruled him, and they sent him back in. Who knows if that was like them knowing he was going to retire after if he lost, and be like, "Hey, this is the final round." But did you, like, knowing the damage that you're putting on him, were you surprised at all that, like, after that third round, fourth round, either the referee, the doctor, or the corner didn't stop it?
I wasn't surprised that they didn't stop it, but I thought it might have been able to be stopped. I thought the doctor might step in and stop the fight, because I seen the cuts. I seen the damage that I was doing and things, and it was like it was bad, bro. It was a lot. So I don't know, bro. I was just more so just focused on working. You know,
Yep. That cut that he had was crazy, the one over the eye. And I mean, he comes out in the fifth
Yo,
round and everyone thinks he's done, and he comes out and he takes you down, and it seems like, oh my god, are we gonna have like a crazy
yo,
Glover Teixeira moment here? Go ahead.
that takedown was sick, dude. Like you have to actually slow it down and look and see what he did, bro. That shit was slick. He 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 grabbed the single leg. The minute I defended the single leg, I said he went to a double, and then right off the double, he went to a underhook like body clinch.
Hmm.
But it was like, so he grabbed the single. When I went to the single, um, he stepped to the double. Now I got to defend the double. So as soon as I went to go sprawl back to defend the double, he went right to the to an underhook, and used the underhook to block he blocked my leg. So as I went to step back from the one that he grabbed the single with to like try to step back, he had already blocked it, and that's what tripped me down to the ground. It was slick as shit.
So what's going through your mind at that point? Obviously, you probably know you're well ahead in the fight. Are you just like, I just need to stay calm here and not make any stupid mistakes and make it till
I
the
mean,
end of the round, or
I
what?
mean
What kind of goes through your mind there?
that's all. That's always the thought. Don't make any stupid mistakes. But it was more so like, oh shit, that was nice. But Anthony called out that takedown, like that specific takedown, how he likes to hook, unhook, and trip. So it was familiar, but just the way he set it up, it was like I was nice, that was slick, you know what I mean? But then I've been working from half guard and working off my back to being the whole time, and that's a lot of times I start rolling sessions in bad positions, so it was just work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think was it you or Brian Butler, your manager, posted the clip of you like training, getting out of that mount position. And it was like meshed together with the clip of you getting up from the fight.
Now I think Bilal Muhammad posted that.
Well, okay,
And
yeah,
Bilal, I was
good.
in contact with Bilal throughout this camp too. Him and Jared Mearshark sent me some videos. Shout out to them on a couple things that they saw. They were on point with it in the fight as well too.
Is that something that happens very often? Like, guys, I don't know exactly the relationship you have with those guys specifically, but I know like there's the management connection with Gerald and stuff. But is that something that happens often? I remember your DMs that you sent like, "Hey, watch out for this and that." Is this something that happens commonly behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes guys like you, and they wanna look out. But I asked for Bilal's help. Just like I asked for Anthony's. I reached out to Bilal. He's like, whatever you need. I mean, when I was like, what do you think about these things? I'm thinking, just dialogue, just talking. You know, I do that with a group of guys.
So obviously, I remember we did the interview with you and Anthony together a few weeks ago. In hindsight, how much did those 4 days together help you out in the fight itself?
Tremendously. Him in the back before the fight, just talking, just making sure my head was level and understanding and being ready for just the moment. He helped a lot with that. He said everything he said and everything he brought. I mean, he was on point.
That's great. And speaking of Anthony, were you surprised what happened with the weight miss as the backup? I know he wasn't needed, but did he tell you anything about what happened there?
They didn't exactly give him the most amount of time. Like, they was brought up to him, mentioned like, hey, you could possibly be the backup, and then they didn't like really officially make him the backup until like she was like Christmas or something, like after Christmas or something like that. So it was like, he was heavy. You know what I mean? And it wasn't enough time.
Yeah, so it's not fair for anyone who's like, him and Jamal got the news of the fight change at the same time. It's not
No,
like he
that's
knew
not
when
the
you
case.
got the call that like, hey, I'm going to be the backup too.
No, that was not the case. And I had first in the first like 2 weeks after I got the call, I had to go through hell to get my weight down first. You know what I mean? I was like 245 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Legit,
Huh?
legit,
Yeah,
245.
a legit
Well,
245 pounds whenever they called me. You saw how big my stomach was?
yeah, is
You
that
know,
is that like the heaviest you've been, or is that kind of typical out of camp walk around?
it can get like that, especially like, I had like a little tear in my shoulder from the Santos fight, so I had some time, I had time off or whatever. I hadn't actually started training for Smith yet. My plan was actually to start training for Smith the first week of January. I was because we had the fight. I was gonna slowly work my way back, and then work from there. But whenever I got the opportunity, you can't pass that up. So I had to just dive right in.
Yeah. Is there any other insight you can give into like the struggles of the camp? I know you say one thing leading up before the fight, but to actually, be here in the aftermath, I'm sure you can be a little more honest about what the journey was like.
It was it was some difficult things. A couple like I had some family members that I lost. And actually even like this morning, my aunt, which is one of the closest people in the world to me, she passed this morning. She's been she hasn't been well for weeks. Actually, whenever the Monday night football game happened, and the young player collapsed on the field, as we're watching that, and I'm just like, me hoping this guy's all right, just like the rest of the world and things. I get a call literally while the guy's down on the field, and my aunt collapsed. Same thing, like stop, wasn't breathing and things like that. And that was the post that I shared, and the aunt that's in my profile picture on my social media right now. And yeah, I just got the word this morning that she didn't make it. So
Man,
got
I'm so sorry to hear that. And I know your manager had actually informed me of that. And I know that's why we had a little delay in talking here today. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. Like, do you know, was she able to, see your fight and maybe, get that last piece of closure? Do you know?
um I don't know if she, I don't think she saw it. She didn't see the fight. She's been she's been out for weeks. Like we was just kind of waiting for her to wake up. She's had like responses and like things like that, and she was fighting. She's a fighter. She was fighting to the end. Is I don't know. Part of me feels like it was just she passed like after I made it home. Maybe it was just she once she found out I was at home. Good or whatever. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It- it's a tough thing, and it's just she's one of those people that just like really really truly molded me into who I am. So it's that. But the biggest thing for me is I got to go be with my family. My little cousin, her granddaughter, they were close, like best friends, close. I want to go make sure she's okay. I want to go make sure her sons are okay. The biggest thing I can do now is be there and take care of the ones that are still here, that what I mean, that are hurting just as much as me and more. It's just, I mean, I really love this woman.
Man, yeah, my condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, I can't imagine the emotional balance you're trying to strike right now, dealing with, I'm sure, one of the greatest moments of your life a few days ago, and then something like this. It's probably a lot internally to deal with, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna deal with it. She taught me to be strong, so I'm gonna be that, and I'll be that for my family.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I know it's kind of hard to segue for that, and I'll only take you a few more minutes here. But going back to, I guess, the experience in Brazil, what was it like? There's so many stories about it being hostile and things like that. It seems like they treated you pretty well. I know you went and like gave some T-shirts to guys on the beach and things like that. What was that all like?
Yeah, my experience in Brazil dealing with the Brazilian people was amazing. It was all positive vibes, great energy. They were really respectful and things like that. The crowd that was there, the crowd was a different story. They got a little fucking weird. Just one dude like is just like bleh, like all this other shit like being real. It's like, bro, like you got like a job, like family and kid, like you owe this hell, bro. But it was, okay. I took it as like it was sports, but like for them to be like the salty and like things like that, like especially like the Brandon Moreno situation more so was like kind of was like fucked up. Obviously, regardless, I'm not really tripping about people like, oh, they wanted to leave and things like that quickly after the fight because it was late. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, you know what I mean? To a degree, I kind of understand that. I just wish that, yeah, Glover could have got his moment, got his roaring applause and send off and things like that. But I don't know, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
My experience with in Brazil was an amazing experience.
That's great to hear. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Brandon Moreno thing. Like, are you watching him in the fight before win his title and he's getting showered with things on the way out and you're about to walk? Or is that there's something in your mind being like, what the hell is about to happen to me right now?
Hell no, I'm not only worrying about that, man. Man, I'm good. I'm good in every hood.
Yeah. Was it all good leaving the cage? Like nothing happened on the way back?
No, nothing happened. That was all Glover. Shout
Hmm.
out to Glover. He asked me. He's like stick around, wait. He told me to wait, and then he told me, you walk out with me, you leave with me. I was like, I got you. I was like, all right, for sure. And he wanted to walk me out. And he did that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. What a legend that guy is. Yeah, the nicest guy in the world. And the fact that he was able to take all that damage was just absolutely insane. I mean, we know he's capable of that, but he said it in his own words. Maybe I'm too tough for my own good. And that's
He's
probably
a
part of the reason why I should walk
machine.
away.
He's a machine, man.
Yeah. What kind of honor is that for you? The legendary Glover Teixeira to be his final opponent in MMA in Brazil. Is that something that'll kind of stick with you till the end of this career?
Yeah, for sure. It was an unspeakable honor. Just in Brazil and what I mean in his home country to do that and just everything how it happened is just incredible, man. It was just a moment, and that's just basically what the emotion was at the end. It was just an incredible moment, from just the hostility in the crowd to just the going in and performing how I wanted to perform and just how tough the fight was itself, just him never going away, and yeah, bro, it was just a mixture of all those things. He didn't lay down, he didn't give it to me easy. I had to go out and truly earn this title.
Yeah, and you did. And the first Dana White's Contender Series fighter to be a UFC champion. Is that something that's special to you as well?
Hey man, I called it, man. I said I was a Contender Series GOAT. We gotta I think with some strong defenses as well, that'll just be solidified completely.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
We'll get into that in a sec here before I let you go. But anything about the performance yourself, like itself, that you would change, or the fact that you were able to show the takedown defense, go the 5 rounds, show your power, your diverse striking. The list goes on and on and on of all the boxes you checked over that
yeah,
25
no,
minutes.
it was good.
Wouldn't change anything.
No, it was good. It was a good show. I changed the fact that not getting hit in the face as much. He did well setting up some shots. Like if you actually look, he switched it up. He went to the he when normally where he was going to the head and things, and you would be able to slip and make a miss and kind of good. He kept his head at a certain angle and away from the bite. He actually went to the chest. He threw to the chest, and then which kind of stopped me, kind of stopped any momentum. That's where the hook landed a couple times. So it was good. He made some really good adjustments. So but yeah, I would have adjusted to those adjustments a lot sooner with a little bit less damage.
Right. And yeah, I mean, you see the shiner there. I know the commission put out like a suspension. I think it says it's like a 6 month one unless you got clearance, which you could come back earlier. Do you like? Is there any breaks or anything, surgery, or is it all just healing time and you'll be
They
good?
said I got like a small fracture or whatever on my nose or some shit like that.
Mm.
It's very, very small, which I don't feel like it's like anything at all, so
Yeah. You landed a UFC light heavyweight record, 231 significant strikes in there too. That's a new all time for the division. It's probably going to be a pretty hard bar to
I
break.
want to recount. I want to recount. I think it was more. I want to
It might have been,
recount
dude.
just to make sure.
Good luck to those people who count them, man. It was insanity in there. But before I let you go, so obviously you are the champion now. You're the man. What comes next? I think I saw there's a few people out there. I think it's kind of the obvious people. We obviously had the Jan and Magomed fight, but Jiri Prochazka, the man that you said pre-fight you'd like to fight, said I'm coming for you. He put out little videos. He's done a couple of interviews. He seems like he wants to be number one, but I think it all comes down to timing, right? Like he's going to be out for a while still. So perfect world. Do you hope he recovers quick and he's the guy? Are you hoping to defend sooner and maybe it's someone else? What do you kind of see in your mind's eye?
Yeah, I'm hoping that is him because I've wanted the Yuri fight for a long time, and I know that's a big fight, and I think just the magnitude of that fight would be really great, and then I think I win. I think I'm better than Yuri everywhere. Um, yeah, I'm willing to wait till July, August, but like past that, I think it's next man up, because that gives them time to also, I don't really think they feeling Magomed like that, just for like the simple fact of he get like how he responded to the decision of it being a draw. Talking about I'll never fight for the UFC again. Like that's not gonna get you a title shot, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he might have to. They might put him through another test or whatever. It's just whoever. You know what I mean? Whoever. I want the Yuri fight, but I'm willing to fight the next man up. So is
Yeah.
what it is. I'm here to rule over everybody. I achieved my dream now. Now I'm dream blocking.
That's a great way to put it. And I mean, you look at the Yuri fight, obviously, what he said about his fight with Glover. Like, I know MMA math doesn't work, but he was obviously losing up until the submission. But what he says
Yeah,
about that fight, go ahead.
I heard that song. It sounded a little salty to me. Like, oh, trying to explain. He put the pause on his ass. I mean, Glover was just as much. I mean, Glover was winning that fight. Glover was about
Yep.
to win. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to say, oh, Glover, he seemed a little bit slower. That's because he was fighting me. We see his speed when he's fighting you. I mean, so that's on the onus is on him to up his speed, but he'll get he'll get his chance. He'll see what it is.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part, right? Like I was gonna say, he says about that fight, about how disappointed he was, like how sloppy he was, and all the things he did wrong, and he just feels that wasn't a good
All my
interpretation of that.
power. And my power was overrated because like so that means your power is overrated, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let him think whatever he wants to think. When I put these motherfuckers on you, you're gonna feel them.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's probably not fair to use Glover as the determining point. I mean, who's ever done worse than that to Glover? Like Anthony Johnson, RIP, but like that was an insane one shot deal years and years ago, right?
Right, right. You know what I mean? Like nobody's ever worked Glover the way I worked him. Complete
Yeah,
watch the cards, and honestly, you could have honestly went 2 10-8 rounds. The third round and the fourth round could have been a 10-8 round in my book.
100%,
So
easily. Could have been stopped there too in that third, in my opinion, as well. So that goes to say a lot for that too. What about Anthony? I mean, I think if you look at it on paper, like he's a fight that's sellable. There's a lot of great storyline there between you two, especially from having to fight and then going in there and training together. Do you feel like if your timeline doesn't match up and what you said about Jan and Magomed there about Dana White trashing their fight, it's kind of hard to put them in a title fight after. Do you think Anthony is maybe a good option too?
yeah, nothing would be happier for my brother to get a chance at gold, even if it is against me. He's been around for a long time and he's been working. He's been doing his thing. He had the hiccup where he broke his ankle. Not something that was out of his control. But I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
aside of that, he's been killing it. He put away like was like 3 straight contenders. Up and coming guys, young, hungry guys. You know what I mean? Who look at what they've done since then. It's just, yeah, it's unfortunate that happened. Then even with the short notice or whatever, I hope they don't. I hope they wouldn't hold that weight miss against him just because of the type of notice that he had. Plus that, and he's coming off an injury too. You know, like people are talking about the weight cut, dude. He just broke his fucking ankle. He's coming off the couch from the injury. You know, so there's that. But I think he wants to. It's a couple fights that he's wanted for a while, and I think he's interested in getting those in and getting that in. I believe one of them is the Johnny Walker. He won something that was before a fight. I think the him and Johnny whoever was gonna win that fight, and I think he goes in and he handles somebody that's like because Johnny Walker's had finishes now, first round finishes now, his last 2 fights. You know, if he goes in, he stops that train. Man, come on.
Yeah. And actually, 2 last things. I didn't ask you this earlier. Your manager, Brian Butler, posted something really awesome on Instagram of on the flight home. You brought back food to like your coaches and sitting and coach on the plane. Can you just explain what happened there, like on the way home, and why you felt, you know, in that moment to try to take care of your guys in that situation?
They weren't in coach, but I upgraded my whole team to Comfort Plus. You know, the they switched my flight, like, you know, while I was at the hospital. So I was in first class. It just felt weird, you know, just because like I know how uncomfortable it can like kind of like some of the spots can be in, you know. I don't really care for myself being like, oh yeah, ahead of myself. That's why whenever people give me credit, I also ship credit to my team, because my team is as much of a part of my success as I am. You know, the other thing was it was like some treats, like these treats that they give you in like first class. You know, I was like, yeah, shit, my coach will like this. I'm gonna go. I mean, go see just that. You know, they got food, and this one like they don't feed you and feed you
Right.
plane and things like that. But I just always want to make sure my guys are good.
Yep. That's awesome of you. Where's the belt right now?
It's right here.
Is it? There it is. Love it. I love that photo you posted of you in the bed. It was like the Messi thing with the World Cup. Did you see that kind of side by side?
I ain't even post that. I was asleep. My team came in, they seen it, and they post. I never like that's another thing. People like, man, bro, what's up with people, man? Motherfuckers just want to be mad at me for anything. I don't even know. I'm gonna be real. If Messi walked past me in the room, I wouldn't know who he was, like, for real. I mean, like, unless I'm like really paying attention to somebody's like, oh, like, bro, I don't follow soccer. I don't watch soccer at all. Like, I didn't even know who this dude was until like maybe like a year ago. Like, I definitely didn't watch the World Cup because I don't watch soccer, you know. So it's like, chill, bro.
Yeah. What was that sleep like with that belt next to you? Was that nice? So I'm sure it was just a brief one, but what was that
Yeah,
feeling?
I literally dozed off for a second. Like, we had been drinking, we've been chilling, you know, we've been up all night, you know, all morning and things like that. So it was just, I like doze off for a quick second, like I said, and I put it down, and you know, so it was asleep.
Okay.
It's like a
So
little.
last question for you, Jamal. Bellator just the other day put out a press release saying we've re-signed Vadim Nebkov, the #1 light heavyweight in the world. Jiri Prochazka said in his interview that he is the #1 light heavyweight in the world. You have that belt right now, but there's, I know, some questions about how all this fight came together, given the draw and everything. Question to you: who is the best light heavyweight in the world right now?
I'm the king of the light heavyweights right now, period. I already said I was the best light heavyweight in the world before I got the belt. Now I have the crown to now it's on the onus is on everybody else to come show me. Show me. You know, I'm sitting on top of the throne. It is
And you
what it is.
said,
You know, Yuri had his thing. You know, he did what he felt was an honorable thing to give up the belt. Honestly, and I still stand by what I said before. If I was in his corner, or I was on his team, I would not have. I would told him. I would not have like. I would try to sway him from doing that. You know, whether it worked out in my favor or not, but it is what it is. It's here now. There's nothing to talk about. Come get it. If you want it, come fucking get it. It's here. And it's open. It's open. It's up for grabs. It's always gonna be up for grabs as long as it's on my waist, because around my waist or on my shoulder, because I'm here to fight.
and you're dream blocking from now on.
I'm drain blocking.
Love it, Jamal. Thank you so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it. Condolences for the loss of your aunt. Hopefully, you can deal with all that and take care of your family and everything. I know you will. You're a great man, so really appreciate you taking the time so soon off the flight. Hopefully, you can get some sleep, take care of your family stuff, and move forward from here.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that.